This is everything you need to know about update 52 in Bloons TD 6. The main feature of the update is a brand new DLC called Frontier Legends. Frontier Legends is a story-based campaign adventure set out in the wild frontiers of monkey civilization. This DLC has so many new things that there's absolutely no way that we're going to be covering all of those in this video, but let me give you guys a little bit of a sneak peek. You're playing as the Sheriff Monkey and we're currently in Sandytown, which is your home camp, basically. The idea behind Frontier Legends is that you're recruiting monkeys and then you're using those monkeys to roam around the world and then beat different maps and play throughout the campaign. So first things first, you can recruit a lot of your monkeys to help you out in your group. So currently I have 3 monkeys and all these guys come with different traits. Now there are rarities to all of these monkeys. So for example, my bomb can actually do a lot of things. So one of which being it can see cow balloons and deals +1 damage to them. But every single one of them has stamina, which gets drained the more you play. Now you can permanently upgrade all of your towers by using bananites, which is the currency that's being used in Frontier Legends, and all these upgrades are permanent. So that means that as you're playing along, you actually do get progressively stronger. You can also customize your sheriff and give him different weapons, which is going to modify his attacks. You can recruit new monkeys by going to the saloon, and all these monkeys have different capabilities. And yes, you can actually recruit heroes, and you can have multiple heroes in one game, which is kind of new for us. There's a general store in the main city in which you can buy some permanent upgrades, like for example this extra stool, which is going to expand your options for new hires. I'm not going to go through all these items so you guys can explore them by yourself, but these are very cool, and we are going to be spending a lot of time in Frontier Legends, I have a feeling. If you run out of stamina, you can go into a campfire so that you can replenish your stamina and you can freely use your towers again. And this is basically the map. As you guys can see, we have not explored anything yet because I've just downloaded Frontier Legends, but the map is huge and there are so many things to do, like some side quests, some mini games, some exploration, like for example this cave entrance, which I'm dying to see what's inside of here. And then of course talking to the mayor, which is basically at the start of this campaign because I've not exactly played Frontier Legends a lot, so I'm saving all this content to play with you guys. We're going to be making videos on all of these things, and we're going to be playing a lot of Frontier Legends. So I just wanted to mention a couple of new stuff happening in this DLC. We have 6 new balloon types: Dynamite, Glass, Diamond, Aura, Retribution, and Ringleader balloons. And for this specific DLC, Ninja Kiwi made a brand new boss, which is called Diamondback, which they do intend of putting in the vanilla BT6 eventually. So I'm going to stop here. I don't want to reveal too many things about Frontier Legends because I want to experience this thing with you guys, but if you guys are getting yourself the Frontier Legends DLC, don't forget to use code EathandRead in the Bloons store. It really helps out the channel, and I want to thank you guys for your support so far. You're all amazing. Another new feature that I'm super excited about is the brand new Ice Paragon called the Herald of Everfrost. Now this thing is nuts. No, it's actually nuts. It combines all tier 5 ice monkeys, so you have the shards. You have this passive ability which gets launched by itself every 10 seconds, I believe. It freezes all the balloons. It attacks very slowly, but whatever it hits, it just gets frozen in place. It removes camo, it removes regrow, and it also carries over the Super Brill debuff, which gets upgraded to +10 damage instead of +5. Now this Paragon has probably one of the craziest abilities because take a look at what this ability does. I'm gonna use it, and as you guys are going to see in a second, it is actually going to be able to freeze bad balloons. No other tower in BT6 does this except the new Ice Paragon. Yes, nothing is immune to the ability of the Ice Paragon, and this includes bosses. Actually, one of the features of this ability is that it can freeze the boss skulls. Yep, for example, Bloonarius releases a lot of balloons in every skull, and you can just stop that with the Ice Paragon. That is probably the craziest thing I've ever seen, and I cannot wait to try this thing out in the next boss event. And we're going to be making a video on this Paragon, doing a deep dive, so make sure you subscribe to check out that video. Now there is a brand new expert map called Tricky Tracks. This is a community made map and it's kind of nuts. The balloons are coming out from, well, basically everywhere, and the way they're kind of appearing and going out is they kind of stop in the middle and then look at what happens. They just continue forward. So you do have a little bit of time to pop them while they're in the middle, but this obviously gets super tricky, especially on Chimps mode. Now obviously, since Ninja Kiwi has worked the most on Frontier Legends, the balance changes are a little bit on the lighter side, but there are some very interesting changes happening, so let's go over them. The first one is the Dart Paragon, which is getting a little bit of a nerf. Its attack cooldown is getting increased from 0.4 to 0.5 seconds. The boss damage is getting reduced, but the main damage of the Paragon is getting increased by a little bit, 15 to 25. It's gonna be interesting to see how it performs now versus bosses, but I would assume it's gonna be kind of similar, but still a little bit weaker. Now, if you guys remember, in the last update, the Bomb Blitz ability got a huge buff. It is now able to trigger if you have 1 life. What happens is that even if you leak, you're gonna proc the Bomb Blitz passive ability, but you're not gonna lose that to 1 life. Now this is obviously a little bit strong, so what they're doing in this update is they're nerfing it, so they're increasing the Bomb Blitz ability cooldown from 60 to 75 seconds. Now talking about the Desperado, it's getting some interesting changes. So the top path is getting its 4th tier price getting increased by a little bit, 4.8 to 5.8k, but the Blazing Sun is a little bit cheaper, so I guess it's kind of the same cost overall, it's just a little bit more loaded on tier 4 now. But this is actually my favorite Desperado change, which is the Avenger getting a lot cheaper. The price is going from 8.5 to 6,500, and actually it's not only that, it's that the knockback is getting increased by a decent amount versus all balloons, mob class balloons, heavy balloons, and light balloons. So I'm super excited about these changes. I really want to test out the bottom path Desperado because this is my favorite one, so yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how this thing works now. Now the Mob Shove Heli is getting yet another nerf. It got nerfed in the previous update with the ZOMG knockback getting reduced, and it's getting nerfed again versus ZOMGs and BFBs as well, so we cannot exactly stall them as much as previously. But I guess the good news is the Comanche defense shove amounts are getting unchanged, so you just have to get the Comanche defense if you want to get the previous stall amounts. Now talking about the Mermonkey, this is how the changelog looks. It is insane, and if you guys want me to give you the short version of this, it's basically getting buffed everywhere. Every single path is getting a huge buff to it, so we're getting a lot of extra attack speed from the top path. We're getting a lot cheaper prices for the mid path, especially the Riptide Champion going from 1.9 to 1.1k, and then again some price decreases on the bottom path at the EcoSense Network going down from 380 to 280, and then the range bonus is getting increased from 6 to 10, among other things, where the Pierce is also getting increased on the tiers 3 and 4. So a huge buff to the Mermonkey. I cannot wait to see how strong this thing is nowadays, actually. Now let's talk about the Ice Paragon. This thing is getting absolutely destroyed. Its attack cooldown is getting increased by a little bit. Its main attack damage is getting reduced from 140 to 100. That is a huge decrease. And then take a look at every single change. Everything is a nerf. Less damage to basically the Carpet of Spikes, less damage to bosses, less damage to mob class balloons. Was this thing actually that strong so that it deserved this type of a nerf? I was not exactly able to tell, at least not as a standalone tower, but I guess in comparison to other Paragons, it was. And on the topic of other Paragons getting nerfed, the NG Paragon, this one hurts, guys. The biggest nerf to the NG Paragon is probably the fact that the Power Glove ability, which is the overclock ability, got its cooldown doubled, 45 to 90 seconds, and I'm pretty sure you can no longer achieve 100% uptime, so that means that we're gonna have to be extra careful when we're overclocking and buffing other Paragons. Now you guys probably know that this Paragon also overclocks towers in a radius, which is getting increased in this update, and its duration is getting doubled, 15 seconds to 30 seconds, so it's gonna be interesting to see if we can make this thing work somehow. Now Striker Jones is getting nerfed. They gave it some extra attack damages in previous updates, but now they're trying to hit the concussive shell ability, and its Pierce is actually getting reduced by a decent amount, 48 to 36 for the level 3, 58 to 48 for the level 9, but I think this is probably going to be one of the more noticeable things, which is the stun duration on BFBs and ZOMGs getting reduced, with the, I guess, the penalty getting increased from 40 to 55% on BFBs and 40 to 70% on the ZOMGs. And lastly, the Pierce of Owen's Wall of Trees is getting reduced. It goes from 3,000 to 2,500 for the level 10 version and 9,000 to 7,500 for the level 21. And that's gonna be about it. Not that many balance changes, so not a lot of things to memorize after this update, but obviously Frontier Legends is where it's at in this one. So if you guys are getting your Frontier Legends DLC, make sure to use code EatAndRead in the Bloons store. Make sure to subscribe to catch all of my Frontier Legends videos, and I'm gonna see you all very soon.